Canberra Metalheads.
The Archives.
Me and You Season 2. Alright, let's kick it.
Hello and welcome to the interview section of Canberra Metalheads. You got Marky Malphas
and JDecay.
Joined here with the boys from Filthy Lucre. We've got from left to right.
I'm Ed, the drummer. Luke, guitarist, singer.
Am I saying that right, by the way? Cool. Alright, cool.
That's us.
Cool. So yeah, you guys are passing through the basement. I heard you guys were down in Melbourne last night. Made the trip up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. On drive. We were in Melbourne for almost a week actually as well, because we had the first two gigs of Victoria. Part of it we were on the weekend. Then we spent the week in the recording studio as well in St Kilda. Yeah.
Sick.
So
we got 3 more tracks done.
Yeah, chipping away at the next album.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Slowly
Getting there.
Oh, that's good, man. Down in Melbourne, getting it done.
Yeah.
Who are you recording that with?
Julian Schwerzer, he was a singer in Green Thief in his new band. He's in a band right now called Deathbeat, but he's just awesome producer.
Yeah.
And we did it in Hot House Studio. Like, they've got a Neve console and, like, it just...
And 1,000 guitars.
Oh,
Those Neve compressors, man.
So
it's
good. Yeah.
outrageously good.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
we
dude.
did the first album on a Neve over in the States on an 8088 desk. And it was just so good. And we're like, well, we can't really go down from that. But we can't really afford to go back to America. And we found out there was one in Melbourne, and a good friend of ours was producing on it. And he's really good. So we're like, yep, done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love how we're
Fun.
getting into tech already, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
nerds.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
We
right.
could talk about that for a while.
Dude, we've had some pretty crazy setups like coming through here. I know that it's cool to get like a little bit of tech down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably revisit some more stage tech later, but it's good to hear that you guys are down there getting some tracks laid down. You
Yeah.
You've already got an album out already.
Yeah,
you started with a demo, got an album, now you got a new single.
That's right.
And we've played the new single on the show before, but we'll have a chance now to talk more about it later on. But to start with, how's the travelling and everything going around the place? You guys are originally from Adelaide.
That's right, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any easier, but it's good fun. So
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
why we do it.
It's been really fun. We got 2 more shows after this, and then we're going home.
Yeah.
So after this,
Yeah.
we're straight off to Sydney to play Frankie's Pizza, and then
Newcastle.
Stag and Hunter in Newcastle.
Yeah.
That's
Two
it.
good
sort of-
venues, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward
Love
to it.
playing
I haven't seen
Frankie's.
Stag and Hunter yet, but we've played Frankie's a few times, and it's always good.
It's always good.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, good vibe there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's got its name in the scene when it comes
Absolutely.
to things.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows Frankie's.
Frankie's, yeah.
It's the place to go.
Like,
for
it's
sure.
weird if you go to Sydney and you're not playing there.
That's it, man. It's like when bands come through. Normally, Canberra's the first place in the tour, like
Right.
for a lot of bands. So it's
Yeah.
cool to like get the feedback on other ones that
Yeah.
you've been to, and then once you got coming up.
Yeah.
I guess
That's
a
it.
lot of bands would go from Melbourne, and then it's the first stop, really. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably, Adelaide bands don't tend to get around too much.
that's it, man. It's because you're
Pretty
coming
far
from the
south.
other side,
Yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
throws us off.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for Perth bands, man. They got to come so
It's
far.
tough. It's expensive.
No, that's
We're
it.
trying to get over there with my band.
Yeah, same.
It's hard, dude. We've got like a few people over there that like want to help us out and everything when we get there, and it's
Yeah.
like it's ready to go. It's just money.
Yeah, it's such a long way.
It's like 1,000 return.
Yeah,
Something
it's
like that,
crazy.
yeah.
You can nearly go to like Europe for that.
Yeah,
it's just about.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely mental, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
For,
Yeah.
for those who don't know about touring costs.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly, man.
It's pretty
Why
pricey
we don't-
stuff.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening back at this episode in 10 years going, wow, that's cheap.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have electric planes soon. But
Yeah. yeah.
Teleport there. you all-
yeah, solar power.
Yeah.
Fall out of the sky
That-
when we
that's
don't
all-
have any more sun.
Just play everywhere at once via hologram.
Yeah,
That's
Man.
the
Oh,
dream.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it. Just getting the archives down.
Yeah,
It's
one-
like, oh man,
a
I can't believe how many shillings it costs.
Yeah.
So that track that we entered in on was called Sales. You were saying that it's a cover?
It was a bit of a ridiculous one.
Yeah, it was an electro, almost dance. I
It was
wouldn't call
by it was
dance,
a big hit by AWOL Nation like 4 years ago. I think
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
Right,
and it's
right.
like full like electronic Like
Yeah.
it's slow and groovy, which is why we decided to do it because we're
I
like,
love
dude, this
that
is...
original track, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
We're
cool
like, this
to
is
hear
a
good
fucking
cover.
stoner rock song without guitars. We need to give it guitars. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was heaps fun to just like stonify it and make it really
Yeah.
doomy.
Yeah, it was a fun one to do.
Oh yeah.
And
Played-
was there? You play that one live in your set, like tonight? You'll be playing
Yeah,
that
we'll be
one.
playing
playing
it
it
for
tonight.
sure.
Sick, man.
It's heaps fun to play.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Nice
also
and easy.
well, the advantage also of a cover is like people might know the original as
Yeah.
well.
Well, that's the thing because it's so like it's way
was a huge
across
song. It was a
genre.
huge song.
It was, but it's so across genre. We just always give a free CD to the first person to pick it
Yeah.
as well because it's like you have to sort of listen for a bit. People notice eventually, but yeah, it's pretty out there.
Yeah.
Man, I know. I think Devil Driver did a cover of it.
They did. We
Yeah.
found that out after we did it. I didn't even know. And I
Yeah,
used to
dude.
slam Devil Driver.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how we missed that.
Devil
but-
Driver's playing here later in the year.
Oh, right.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So that's cool. I think like Sail is their second most listened to song on
Yeah,
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
far out.
So that's but man, what a rad song to cover. Was there anything that came like was there a reason that you chose that one, or like you said you just heard it and was like this needs to be
Yeah.
like
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like just it's riffs, but not on a guitar, which just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, and the groove like really turned me on. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah. Which we just tried it out and we're like, yeah, it sounds pretty good. Like
man.
the riffs are fun.
We did the whole thing on a little cigar box guitar as well.
I read that you play the cigar box guitar on stage sometimes. man.
Yeah, we're using it tonight. It's like it usually features in at least
It's-
half the set.
Yeah.
It's about half of the album Mara. It
Yeah,
was played
a lot
on
of
that
it was
tiny
recorded
thing.
on that, like including Sail, which you would have just heard. It's
Yeah.
that was all on the cigar box guitar, which is this tiny little thing, but it sounds so.
It sounds
Big.
ludicrous. It's crazy. It wasn't designed to do that.
Yeah.
I just brought it to practice once. I'm like, Luke, play this thing. It'll be funny if we plug it into your big rig. And it just sounded sick, and we're like, oh no, this isn't a joke. We're getting one of these.
Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't even like a chosen gimmick. We weren't like, oh, this would be funny. It was like,
Yeah.
it just was
Sounded sick.
Was what it was, yeah. So
Excellent.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You guys seem to have like a good, not just dynamic, but also like friendship. How long you guys been
Oh, yeah.
mates for?
We've been playing in bands together since we were.
like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Since high school.
We've been in a few bands together.
Yeah,
In
sick.
fact, I think like all but like one band I've been in, Luke's been in.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've always played together, and we've
Yeah.
spent a lot of time. We actually worked out how many kilometers we've driven just the two of us the other day.
In
Was it
the
like
band,
40,000
nearly
k's?
40,000 k's.
Yeah, we've done just driving the
Over-
two of us.
I think this band we've only been in for about 6 or 7 years, but
Yeah.
yeah, done. I think that's the only band that's sort of left Adelaide anyway that we've been in.
Yeah,
So,
true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
Which
a
is-
little case.
yeah, and that's kind of half the reason
8
for
good
the two.
services.
Yeah,
do you guys have like a like specific car that you guys take every
We
time?
both
or?
have the same car. It's a Suzuki AVP. It's like those
AVP.
little vans.
Yeah.
APV.
APV, yeah.
APV. It's like those little vans with just
Yeah.
2 seats in the front, and it's exactly the right size to store all of our gear.
Yeah.
it's a proper soccer mum van. Like it's
Yeah,
they're
sick,
really
man.
cute, but they go.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
And
dude.
it's just, Luke had one for ages, and I'm like, this thing's perfect. So I saw one come up, and I needed a new car. I'm like, I'm getting one too. So
Yeah.
it's hilarious when we both rock up in the same car.
Oh man, that that's some next level.
I used to paddock bash one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
On the
sick little
farm.
thing.
Pretty sweet, but man, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but they roll pretty easily.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We
especially
used
when
to
it's
just
full
jump
gear.
out and just
Yeah,
prop it back up.
that's it. Yeah,
Jesus. That's
Sick,
hectic.
Yeah, so be careful on them corners.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Yeah,
Plus,
dude.
if you like slam the brakes on too hard and your gear shifts, it'll like endo, and you can like roll forward.
do sweet tricks.
Oh yeah, we'll try that. Let's do it.
But we used to do some ridiculous stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
I wanna
man.
do that.
So you guys both from Adelaide, or
Yep.
Yeah.
you
Born
say
and raised.
Born and raised in Adelaide.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sort of branching out, trying to get into the different cities around the country.
Yeah,
so-
we're getting friends all over now, which is great.
Yeah.
We're very, like, Canberra's definitely a new destination for us, like, as far as, like, getting in, getting to know people.
Yeah, because it was always just Melbourne from where we were, because that was like, everyone was telling us to
Yeah.
go there, and it's the closest major city to us.
Yeah,
So,
so now we've got loads of mates there. We've got heaps of mates in Brisbane as well.
yeah, we went up to Brisbane heaps, and Sydney
should
and
try and hit up Wagga or Wodonga.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then that way you've got it like a even spot in
that's
between.
True, yeah.
That's a good idea.
They do a lot of shows at the Home Tavern.
The Home Tavern.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to listen back to this and
yeah,
check
yeah.
them out.
Yeah, check them
Yeah.
out. They're good venues, good people down there.
Yeah, cool.
I'll give you a mate's business card.
Excellent, dude.
Excellent.
Or don't have one here, but I'll hook you up.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Excellent.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Jace, love it. Always hustling.
Sorry.
No, I love it. I
This
love
is good.
it, man. That's why.
Well, we're planning another tour in about 11 weeks anyway, so...
Yeah.
hell
Sick,
yeah.
man.
we
See
go
how it
through.
just falls into place. That's
Yep.
why he's on the books, man. You guys, so you went down to Melbourne. You've just recorded. Have you finished recording down there, or is there still more to do?
We did what we intended to do.
Yeah.
So, like, we wanted to get at least 2 more tracks. We managed to get 3.5 because
yeah.
we're kind of working on a big Stoner Psyche instrumental thing that that needs lots
We
of
haven't
attention.
finished it yet, but
Yeah.
we've got 3 finished tracks now from that run. Well, 4 including the single that's already out.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we're sort of chipping away at an album bit by bit in
Yep.
chunks because we can't afford to do one whole album at a time.
Well, it's timing as
the
well.
other
Timing's
album.
hard.
Yeah.
I suppose because you're in the States, you had to kind of smash it out for the last
Yeah, we were there
one.
for a
Yeah.
month.
We spent a
Just
month
like
there with Sylvia Massey, and it was awesome, but far out it was
Intense, I can imagine.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
very
dude.
intense.
She's
It was
crazy.
6 days a week for 4 weeks.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's intense. So there's quite a few tracks on that album. How many you got in total?
14.
14,
On
yeah.
that one,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. It could have been 2 albums.
Yeah.
Which we should.
It's too much. But yeah, it's why it's not out on vinyl yet, because it's just too long for a vinyl. So the single vinyl, we have to do a double gatefold, and then we found out how much that's going to cost to press after we'd spent all that money making it and then touring. We're like, oh,
It's costly because the whole album, the album goes for I think
I
an
gotta do
hour
it.
and 5.
Yeah, you do? Oh, okay,
No,
give me his card.
right.
Hook me up.
Just a Rolodex of information.
Sick. Hell yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, man. So you guys, how'd you get the hookup for the States, man? Like, what made you go over there for the last
Well,
one?
our old manager's band recorded with her because she hit them up.
Yeah.
They were called Lady Strangelove, and they were doing quite well for a while, but they broke up sort of halfway through recording. And then through them, he got her contact, and he's just like, hey, you guys should go there. You should go. And we were like, well, that's a cool experience. And she listened to our demos, and she goes, yep, come on over. Cut us a deal. And it just happened. But
Yeah,
like,
we
honestly,
sort of
like
went for it.
a lot of these big producers, you can just email them, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like
it's what they do. Like
Yeah.
they record all the time. They don't only record mega famous people. Like that wouldn't
Yeah.
really
They
fill
gotta
out their
keep
year.
getting their money.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And if they like you, they'll record you.
Yeah.
Like
So we just fucking saved up as much money as we could.
I
and
sold
just-
my car.
Yeah, we
Sold my
pretty much
girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, actually, my girlfriend did dump me on the second day of recording while I was there. That sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, like while you were over
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Like took half the shit, moved out.
Oh, Jesus.
Second day recording, Sylvia like is crazy. She's like, great, put it all into the drums. And I'm like, fuck, I'm so
Oh,
sad.
man.
That's gnarly.
Yeah,
Dude,
it was
that-
gnarly. Worked out really good though.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah.
that definitely sounds planned, but yeah.
Yeah, she was a
Yeah.
coward. She couldn't do it while I was there.
Yeah,
That
man.
was all it was. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Nah,
I hope she doesn't listen to this.
I'll pull a little bit of that out, just in case. I've
Same
got-
with the business card stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
We're pretty good on that.
yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping my finger on the pulse and pulling out what I
Sure that
need.
We don't mention actual prices. of
Yeah.
things.
So yeah, that's crazy, man. So whereabouts in the States did you record that one, man?
In a town called Ashland in Oregon,
Okay.
just above California.
Yep.
She
Yeah,
moved up
it's
there
beautiful.
recently, so we were like the third band she recorded in that studio or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it was pretty fresh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like all her same gear and everything, but it was just an old church that she gutted out.
Oh,
And,
sweet.
Yeah. No one even knew it was there in the town. Everyone was
Yeah.
like, they were talking to locals there and saying like what we were doing and everything, and they're just like, "What? There's like a world famous producer there?" I'm like,
Yeah,
like
because it was like a college town, really
Yeah.
small, but there was like heaps of young people
Young,
there.
yeah.
yeah.
So we made heaps of friends really quick.
The first thing we said, that Sylvia said when we got to the studio, she was like, "Oh, I've just spent like all last week, mixing Johnny Depp's music that he's just putting out." And we're just like, "What?" That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Crazy
Just
shit like
famous
that
people,
just kept
like-
happening. Like this this like old kind of greasy looking dude came in, and he was just sort of wandering around. And he's like, "Hey Sylvia," it's like, "Oh, you know Sylvia, he's cool." And he was walking around. She's just like, "Oh, listen to this band." Like played it, and he's just like, "Wow, you guys are great." And he goes, "Oh, you know what you guys need? You need a choral sitar, like these electric sitars." I don't know if you've heard of them. And he's like, "I've got one at home. I'll go get it." And he just went home and he walked out, and then Sylvia just goes, "Oh yeah, that's Craig Chiquizo from Jefferson Starship, Jefferson Aeroplane." We're like, "What?" And he came, and when he was there, we were just like, "Oh yeah, who's this guy?" And then he came back with this choral sitar. He's like, "Yeah, use it, guys, just use it." We're like, "Oh, thank you."
yeah, that's insane, man.
That's cool. But yeah, like it was just crazy how she recorded all these amazing bands that we'd like grown up listening to and loving, and yeah, like I don't even know how we managed to pull that off going there.
Dude, we had no idea what we were doing. No idea.
Yeah.
It just fell. That's
Yeah.
good, man.
She's very
it
good.
happened, and she did us a really good deal, so we didn't go completely broke. But yeah,
Yep.
It's fun.
Well, you're I mean, when you're already over in the States, you're already forking out a fair bit. So
That's
it's good to see the
yeah.
commitment that you guys have
we
for it.
spent years trying to get that together to make that happen, but yeah. It was a really good experience. Though.
It was. We learnt so much. That was probably the main thing, apart from
First,
having a good album.
I think the biggest lesson we learned from that was save some money for promoting afterwards.
Yeah, our manager didn't think of that. You can cut that out too, which is why he's not our manager anymore.
Yeah.
I always tell all the bands on my label that you've got to spend at least double
That's
what
it.
you're spending on
Right?
the record
That's why we're doing
to
like,
PR your
We didn't
stuff.
know. Like, he picked us up when we were starry-eyed teenagers, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why we're doing it this way of like we recorded the single in like one day in Melbourne, released it, and then toured it, so we can just like spend all that money, make some money. Then again, when we go back to work, then do again what we're doing now, like spending another bunch of money recording, just doing it in chunks.
What's it like touring as a two-piece, man? I'm sure.
so easy.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be so much better.
Yeah, it's way easy.
Have you guys
Super
toured with like bands with more than two members before, like bigger bands and stuff?
Yeah, we've been around them and like we've played.
We've
shows
played with...
Yeah.
we have not personally been in a bigger band that's toured, like proper toured.
Yeah.
Properly
Yeah.
toured. But we just know that it's easier because we've
Yeah.
tried organising bands just at home in Adelaide that are bigger than 2 or 3 people, and it's just crazy hard.
Yeah,
And with
yeah.
this, it's like, you know, just book a place that's got 2 beds. We've got a car that's got 2 seats. Like, it's
That's
so simple.
Hit the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is sick, man. Especially
Yeah.
when you guys are good buddies as well. It makes
Yeah.
it so much easier.
Yeah, it's heaps fun. Yeah.
You're playing tonight with Matersphere, which we've had on the show before, and that's why sort of came
Shout out.
across you guys. Yeah. But is there any like locals from Adelaide that you guys normally play with, like other bands that you find yourself around a fair bit?
Kitchen Witch, for sure.
Yeah.
Play with them a lot. They're sick. There's Moon Hunter, which is another 2-piece.
Mhm.
They're really cool. I like them a lot. Who else is kicking it right now? Because there's been a lot, but
There's
some of
heaps.
them have, a lot of them have disbanded.
A lot of them have come and gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jungle City was one of our favourites, but they're such a shame they're gone now. But
Well, part of them have reformed to a band called Baby Candy, which is really grungy. They're pretty good. I like Baby Candy.
yeah.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
That's cool to get like a couple of other bands out there. I'll
Yeah.
do like a little track listing after this
Yeah,
with
yeah,
like
dude.
3 of those bands, 3 tracks. Like just
Yeah.
do a best of Adelaide section.
Yeah, man.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
We love it when people show us some new tunes.
We
Yeah, man,
we had
heck yeah, man, we can do
we had
that.
the guys from Interretum from Tasmania,
Mhm.
and they did like a little like shout out to their locals as well.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
So it's like becoming a bit of a thing.
Hell yeah.
We like it, man.
That's awesome.
Sick. All right. Well, yeah. So that's the wrap up of bands and stuff like that. Closing out, man. Is there like a you mentioned the single before? Run us through that, man. What's it like after recording a massive album? How's it go with the singles getting out there and things like that? What's the single like?
It's different from the album a little bit.
Yeah.
It still sounds like us, but it's like a way more fast-paced, aggressive, punchy.
Yeah, a bit of a gnarlier sort of sound that we were going for with
Production,
this one because the first album we wrote over like the space of like 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
While we we're getting all our stuff together, but this one, first one since then. So that's like another. It's been another 3 years since the album. So things have changed a little bit with our sound, but yeah, we wanted to make it a bit more like modern sounding, a bit more.
Yeah, the
gnarly
production's
and-
pretty different. It's a lot more clean.
Yeah.
Well, it's heavy as fuck and fuzzy, but the production is like tidier.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I get it.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sylvia, like the first album, it was pretty like organic and vintage sort of sounding, like
Yep.
which was what she was all about, and that's
And loose.
yeah.
Like I'd make a mistake and I'm just like, oh, I've got to redo it. And she's like, no, it's perfect. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So this stuff is a lot more,
Yeah.
which I'm liking. I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what like went into writing the song and things like that? Did it just sort of happen
That's kind of how all
naturally?
that shit happens.
All of our songs, we just sort of get in the jam room and they just kind of like fall out a little bit. Like we, we always
Especially
like
when we don't need them to.
Yeah.
Like we'll be getting ready for a gig and then we'll just start playing a new song. Oh, now I have to get the phones out. We've got to record it.
Yeah,
Like,
because we sort of like I like to sort of liken it to it's almost like we're like a conversation type dynamic where
Yeah.
like Ed will just start playing drums or I'll just start playing guitar and then we just kind of start
Then
jamming out of nowhere. Like it's
I can't do the face through radio, but we look at each other and raise our eyebrows when it happens. You're like, oh, we're gonna keep this one.
It's like a noddy squint.
Yeah.
Like
Kind of like
the slight head
the monocle.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like if you were sipping a nice cup of tea.
that's it. Yeah.
That's a lot.
But yeah, that's sort of how all our songs just happen. We don't really like go away individually and like write the riffs or write the beats or
No.
anything like that. It just kind of happens.
The
in
music
jam room.
itself happens together.
I hear a lot of bands having like they kind of got members in different areas, but I guess
Yeah.
you guys being so close, you can just
Yeah.
jam together, have that sort of like. You can just sort of like lock eyes, you know, like
it,
and
exactly.
so,
Yeah.
like when you can sort of like you're reading body language and things like that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Do you have like a certain jam, or do you guys go to each other's places? How do you what's your jam room?
We used Sunset Rehearsals in Adelaide. For quite some time we were using Luke's
Yeah.
place when he was living up in the hills, but now we both live in apartments, so
That's
that's
hard
not,
to make noise. But
not a great idea.
the
for
rehearsal
staying
space it's awesome, but it's super ghetto.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's good, man. It means
Which is
that
good. Yeah, it's a good vibe.
yeah,
It is actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Good,
mind
man.
it at all.
It's good to hear that you guys have a spot, man. Sometimes people are hard pressed to get a space.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that hard in Adelaide.
Yeah. And it's cheap.
I'm comparing like Canberra, Melbourne to but
Yeah.
There's 3 spots,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
and there's like 20 odd bands.
Yeah.
Far out.
If you want to jam on a Thursday,
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. That's hectic.
Yeah.
We mentioned some tech earlier on in the at the start of the show. Run us through like your set, man. With your kit, what do you use?
I'm using a Mapex Satin, but I don't use the 10 or the 12 toms. I leave them at home, and I've just got the 14-inch floor tom as my rack, and then the 16 as the floor. 21 kick, and I've got a Pearl Jupiter snare, which is an old vintage baby. I only just had that identified like last week as well by a friend
really?
in Melbourne who's like an absolute gear nut. Because we found it in
Didn't know what
Luke's
it was.
shed. It
Yeah.
was like his dad's drummer's snare.
Yeah,
and it was
right.
just a
About
bucket
$8
of
grand.
rust.
Yeah.
8 grand.
It was just it was just a rusted out piece of crap, and I'm just like, I want to get into refurbing old stuff. I'll take that home, and I like spent hours cleaning it up, and I'm like, this sounds really good.
It's a different snare now.
Yes, it is, I've got mostly Pisty cymbals, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. When
And,
you use Luke, this will be interesting.
Being a two-piece.
Yeah, you got
use a lot of
multiple
amps.
roles, isn't it?
Oh
I
yeah.
could pretty much leave the room for
So-
15 minutes now.
Yeah. Just use like three amps, because like for 2 guitar amps and a bass amp, and
Yep.
sort of split it 3 different directions, just to give it that full like tonal frequency thing going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like
So stereo plus bass.
yeah, pretty much.
Are you running them on? Are you running the two as stereo, the 2 gats?
No, they're actually individual, so they've got like
Okay,
different stuff
so
going
like
through the
3
2
lines.
guitar amps. And,
Yeah,
so just
that'll be
3
big.
proper. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, proper
Yeah.
big. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
dude.
That's it. And
What amps?
I've got a 1974 Marshall JMP as my main,
Yeah, yep.
which I picked up like
Oh,
for
that was
from a
ridiculous.
friend.
It was like my old housemate.
Yeah.
He weird guy. He
It was
like,
from
had
this
a-
like share house sort of like ghetto situation,
Yeah,
and
nice.
somehow it ended up there.
Classic Marshall.
They did,
Yeah.
yeah. It was. It had been gutted. Well, hadn't been gutted, but like
It didn't even have a Marshall badge on it.
Yeah.
All the Tolex had been ripped off. It was just
Someone
wood.
had torn it apart, pulled the badge off, pulled all the knobs off, and replaced them with really bad like black plastic ones.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and looked in the back. I'm like, this very much looks like a Marshall. And I looked at the back and it was a 74 JMP, and I was like,
What'd you pay him for it?
Paid him $100 for it.
Excellent.
Which I said, I was like, man, can I borrow this and like do it up for you, and I'll pay for all the parts as long as I can just use it for a while. And he's like, man, just have it. And I was like, can I give you some money for it? He's like, oh, just give me $100. I was like, okay.
Man,
Thanks, mate.
I thought Jay was the only hustler on the show.
And what's it worth now? It's probably worth about $3,000.
It'd be worth a few grand now. But,
Man.
Yeah.
Sick.
but
Cool. So
Crazy.
and I use that in orange as well.
Yeah, sick.
Which orange? Using the white one?
I've got a
tiny.
I've got a little dual Terra because it's
Great for touring.
perfect
Yeah,
for
yeah.
touring. Still tube, so that's good. But,
Yeah, excellent.
I usually use 2 Marshalls side by side, or 2 like a big orange, but can't afford one of those.
Yeah, sick, man.
Orange, hit these guys up.
Yeah, please.
That would be sick. All right, guys. Well, thanks for dropping in and having a chat.
Thanks for having us.
Alright, cheers.
You guys have got a show tonight, and we're going to close out the show with the new single, Prescription.
Thanks a bunch for doing that.
Thanks for having
So
us.
thanks for coming on.
Now here's the Doom song. Skate.
Hi, I'm Ed,
I'm Luke.
and we're from Filthy Lucre.
You're listening to Canberra Metalheads.
Bianca, bam!